We are going to be looking at some nice weather for the rest of your day today as the showers move out. We will be looking at a little bit of a breeze, and this is going to be leading into a cloudy day tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be a little bit below average tomorrow, and then we have another cold front Wednesday cooling us off for Halloween.
Your top stories this morning. Hundreds of non-essential personnel from NAS Guantanamo have flown into NAS Pensacola as Hurricane Melissa approaches.
A 16-year-old is facing grand theft and possession of a firearm charges after an accidental shooting left another teen in critical condition. This happened over the weekend.
The Mega Millions jackpot for tomorrow night's drawing sits at $714 million. Tickets are $5 if you're interested.
You can stay here and watch Good Morning America, but we suggest you change the channel to channel 35 for the Morning Current on WFGX.
We take a deeper dive into the news stories of the day, a couple stories you haven't heard yet, and we have some fun as well. You can stream us on WEAR's Facebook and YouTube channels or on the WEAR website.
So we'll see you there in about 2 minutes. Have a good day.
You're watching WEAR News, the Morning Current on WFGX.
Welcome to the Morning Current, a show where we take a deeper dive into many of the local stories. And more importantly, I think we like to find out what you think about a lot, what's going on, all for the next hour. But first, just a greeting. I'm Jared Willits.
I'm Laura Hussey, and let's get to our top story. Hurricane Melissa, now a Cat 5, Closing in on Jamaica, we have a live look for you right now. Things are quiet in the streets of Kingston as people have battened down the hatches and sought shelter as best they can. Melissa expected to make landfall tomorrow morning in Jamaica. Already they're getting heavy rain. Up to 40 inches of rain is expected in some areas.
There is concern about landslides as well, and the storm surge up to 13 feet.
Despite ardent prayers, I am sure, Melissa, we are told, is on track for a direct hit. This could be the most powerful hurricane on record in Jamaica. People scrambling to evacuate or stock up on what supplies they might need. Melissa has already claimed multiple lives in the Caribbean, 3 people dead in Haiti, and a trail of destruction across the Dominican Republic.
That is terrible and awful to the 10th degree. Here, we're doing okay.
Yeah, stormy night. I mean, there's some heavy rain in some places, Brooke.
Yeah, we have those heavy showers continuing. It's with that cold front that is part of the reason that we're not going to be seeing any impacts from Melissa here locally. We do have the heavy showers continuing just to our east. That's where they're also looking at some of those severe alerts. But we have still a little bit of some lightning offshore. We're looking at that heavy rain as well. So if you are waking up this morning, Gulf breeze, we're dealing with a nice little shower that has just developed. So heavy going to be moving really through Navarre now. That is where that heavy rain is continuing this morning. We have some light showers mixed in as well. Still a little bit of some lightning left over in Walton County. You can see some of those showers continuing for Destin as well. So it is going to be a wet morning for you. Wet morning commute, temperatures in the 60s and the upper 60s. We will continue to have temperatures warming up as we head into your afternoon into the upper 70s for those highs today. Our winds are going to be looking a little more out of the north after this rain. That is going to be bringing in a cool down. We're looking at a big cool down as we head into the middle of the week, and then as we head into the end of the week, another cold front is going to be bringing us another round of rain and cooler temperatures. So currently looking at those showers, they'll be moving out in the next couple of hours.
But we have about 900 plus visitors to NAS Pensacola, evacuees from Guantanamo.
They're described as the non-essential personnel, but there was a good group of folks. WEAR's Aria Circa tracking some of the impact and how this all happened so fast. Good morning, Aria.
Good morning. Well, over the weekend, you had family members, civilian employees, contractors, and all their pets. They all arrived here in Pensacola as the NAS Guantanamo's non-essential personnel evacuation. Now, the base is about 200 miles northeast of Jamaica, with an estimated 5,500 personnel and family living and working on the installation. WEAR spoke with Congressman Jimmy Patronis on that movement.
Right now, this is all that is expected to be airlifted out of NAS or out of Guantanamo Bay. And, there's, essential personnel that will still be on the installation, but who we've got out, we got their family members and all the loved ones, and those non-essential contractors off in a safe place.
NAS Pensacola was notified about that movement on Friday, and Captain Newman there said that preparations began as soon as they took note of that. She said NAS Pensacola Fleet and Family Support Center established an emergency family assistance center, and the lodging and dining facilities prepared for the influx of people. Newman said, quote, "The safety and well-being of our Navy family is always a primary concern." Now, the Emergency Family Assistance Center provides a wide range of services to military personnel, civilians, and their families, including counseling, information referral, financial assistance, and housing assistance. Jared?
As always, a lot of our stories, we like to see what people are saying, what they think about it, including this one.
Yeah, in this case, a lot of messages of hope and welcome. Courtney writing, so proud of everyone at NAS Pensacola who immediately went into action to help. This was an extremely well-run operation, especially on short notice.
Yeah, she went on to say it's amazing to see how the community rallied around NAS to help. As Floridians, well, we know the chaos of a hurricane. So glad we could help our military families, get them feel welcome and supported through this storm.
And Peggy shared a message that many would agree with, we think. Thank you all for your unwavering service, even without pay.
And of course, as Aria was telling us, we've been in contact with Congressman Jimmy Patronis over the weekend, giving us an update on what's going on. You can scan the QR code on your screen to see this story and all the other ones and what the Congressman had to say about this massive storm.
And with all those folks coming in from Gitmo, makeshift housing for 350 pets was also arranged.
Got to bring them, right? USO Northwest Florida partnered with the American Legion Post 240 as a donation site for items yesterday. They have since paused donations because they got so much. 2 truckloads already collected of unopened dog and cat food.
Now, the donations are paused until the USO determines exactly what more is needed, if anything else at all. They'll make an announcement if they need it, but if you have pet food that you bought, I will mention that JoJo's Paws inside the Escambia County Animal Shelter can always use donations, especially with the shutdown.
Nothing like a hurricane, that's for sure, but we had some really bad weather Sunday and through this morning, and that put a damper on some weekend activities, including the final day of the fair.
Yeah, there were a number of cancellations, but this one was big. The fair closed yesterday because of weather. Management says there will not be refunds for people who purchased tickets. The Greater Gulf State Fair in Mobile will honor any unused online admission tickets for the Pensacola Fair. Those tickets need to be printed out. They're not going to accept mobile tickets.
The fair, expected to open today, goes through November 2nd on the grounds on Cody Road. Have a nice time.
Looking live at your morning drive, we are on 9th Avenue. Paused momentarily, but it looks like at least the rain is slacking off there. Just be careful as you head out.
A 70-year-old woman critically injured. It was a crash in Escambia County.
The Florida Highway Patrol tells us it happened Friday afternoon on Highway 29 at Highway 97. A 70-year-old woman was going north on 29 and failed to yield to oncoming traffic and starting to make a left turn. An oncoming SUV collided with the right side of that woman's car.
She suffered critical injuries, the other driver with minor injuries.
This morning there's an investigation in Escambia County after a shooting.
It happened Saturday afternoon on Brigadier Street near Gulf Beach Highway. 2 men were walking down the street apparently. There was an argument with a person at a home. That person reportedly shot one of the people walking, shot him in the shoulder, at the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. So far, no suspect has been arrested.
And a 16-year-old is charged, another person injured after an accidental shooting at a party in Escambia County.
This would happen early Sunday morning near South Highway 99, Morgan Road, Walnut Hill. The teenager charged with grand theft of a firearm and possession by a minor, not being charged in the shooting because it's been ruled accidental.
This information coming to us from the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. They say the teen who had the gunshot wound was flown to the hospital in critical condition. The whole thing is still under investigation, and deputies at this point have not released the name of the teen who was charged.
Here on the Morning Current, we'd like to see what's going on in your world, and one of the things you can do about that is use our Chime In on the website. Just send us your pictures and videos of your life in Northwest Florida.
Coming up, new information about the driver in that deadly Florida Turnpike accident, what the Florida Attorney General's office has discovered about previous driving tests.
And an amazing rescue, a young child saved from a crash in Texas. We'll show you the moment the 1-year-old is brought back to life.
Thank you for watching with us on a Monday. Terry sent a message on Facebook. He's watching the stream. It is National Cat Day. Just say it, Jared.
I don't know how to celebrate.
We'll have some coffee and think about it.
We'll do that. Thank you.
New this morning, the truck driver in that fatal Florida Turnpike crash repeatedly failed driving tests. This according to the Florida Attorney General's office.
You remember the crash happened in August. Harjinder Singh, accused of attempting an illegal U-turn. A minivan behind him couldn't stop, crashed into the semi. All three in the van died. The investigation revealed that Singh failed a written test to get a CDL in Washington state 10 times between March and April of 2023.
Singh, who is from India, lived in California. He was originally issued his CDL in Washington state before California also issued him one. He was carrying a valid California CDL at the time of the crash. Right now, he is in the St. Lucie jail without bond, and his next court date is November 13th.
Florida is now petitioning the Supreme Court to take up its case against California and Washington state, urging the court to bar states from issuing CDLs to people who are currently in the country illegally.
Lots of comments on our socials about this one. A lot of questions about how many tests people should be allowed to take.
Briley says, why would you even get 10 opportunities to take the test within 2 months?
And Jason offered a suggestion saying if you can't pass it in 3 tries, you should be disqualified nationwide.
And Cheryl says a driving accident can happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. That's why it's called an accident.
This morning, a Navy helicopter and a fighter jet went down in the South China Sea, and we have an update on everyone's condition.
It happened about 30 minutes apart, each one Sunday, both conducting routine operations from the Nimitz. All 3 helicopter members safely recovered. Both crew members on the fighter ejected safely and recovered. They're all considered to be stable, and of course the investigation is just beginning.
Yeah, more to come on that one. And new developments out of France this morning. Police arresting 2 men in connection with that spectacular jewel heist at the Louvre Museum.
How about this? One suspect arrested Saturday trying to get on an airplane at the Charles de Gaulle airport going to Algeria. The second one about to travel to Mali when he was nabbed by police. Both suspects are French nationals.
Now, police say both of them also have a history of burglaries. They've not yet publicly released the names, and investigators say they are still looking into whether there was an insider, someone at the Louvre, who assisted in the theft.
You want to take a moment to watch this. This is incredible. It was a heart-stopping, absolutely heart-stopping rescue that brought a 1-year-old to safety and back to life, really.
The crash was last Thursday. It's a little tough to watch. The baby does end up okay, but the woman and the 1-year-old were ejected out of the car. The infant ended up pinned underneath that overturned car, and she was unresponsive when they first got to her.
Video shows the moments officer pulled the child from under the car.
It's hey, under here. We need to move the car. Get it. I think the baby's under the. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Oh my God.
Officers getting assistance there from some other drivers, and they started CPR again. That baby was unresponsive. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. They pumped on that little heart.
And apparently mom and baby at this point expected to make a full recovery. Wow. Let's get a look outside at 7:15 here on the Morning Current. The camera's kind of stuck, but we're driving down Cervantes in Pensacola, noting no traffic issues there or anywhere this morning.
We all feel like the We have some great video from Jim Burns. Brooke, we have bears.
Oh my goodness. I love the bears.
These two are so shiny and healthy, and Mr. Burns says apparently because they are going after the birdseed.
That's a healthy snack for a bear, as I understand.
I thought about putting out some birdseed in my yard for the squirrels. They have a little picnic, like a picnic chair thing looking thing, and you can put the peanuts in there.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm worried it's going to attract bears.
It's in my imagination, we're seeing a lot of bear videos. lately.
I think we are, and a lot of them, they come from all over, but especially South Santa Rosa County. Pretty healthy and social bunch of bears.
They're just walking around, getting a snack.
Again, this morning they're getting wet, obviously.
Yeah, and those showers are going to continue for at least the next hour or so. We still have some rain around. Looks like we have a few little pockets of some more moderate showers. Not currently raining over Pensacola Beach, but we do have that chance, I would say, over the next hour of some light sprinkles still lingering. But they are going to be coming to an end. Right now, your temperatures are going to be feeling the effects of our cold front. You can already start to see a little bit of a difference depending on where you are. We're going to be in the 60s, upper 60s to mid 60s where that cold front's currently moving through, and a few more 70s where we're still seeing the showers and some of that more moist air. So currently your radar does have a few of those little pockets of some showers. You can see where it's come to an end, some heavier rain that is now moving into South Okaloosa County. That's where we have that heavier shower. Could be moving into Fort Walton Beach, Destin within the next hour or so. That is going to be the end of it. You can see behind it some drier skies. We do have the clouds hanging around as we go into your day today, but it is going to be moving out by the end of the week, that cloud cover. That's because we do have another cold front going into Wednesday. It's going to be bringing more showers to the area. Very light rain chance Wednesday, but we're not expecting it to be zero. So small chance of rain going in with our second cold front, 4 a.m. to about 7 a.m. For our Wednesday morning forecast. But look what happens after this. Drier air moves in. We'll have more of a northerly flow. Behind this, we're looking at a cool down, and it is going to be dropping our temperatures into the 60s for highs heading into Halloween. So a big cool down for us. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center does show temperatures falling below average. We are expecting that to last into next week. So today, 77 degrees for your high, right around average, maybe a degree below average. 73 tomorrow, so that's where we'll feel that first cold front settling in. 71 Wednesday as that cold front's moving in, but temperatures will be cooling throughout the day into the 60s for Thursday, Friday. We'll be looking at that chilly Halloween forecast, so get prepared for that. Let's talk about the tropics now. We are watching Hurricane Melissa, Category 5 hurricane, winds at 160 miles an hour, and it is expected to be turning to the north within the day. So moving currently at 3 miles an hour, it's going to start to make that turn, making landfall in Jamaica as a powerful Category 5 hurricane, making landfall in Cuba as a Category 3, still a major hurricane, and then eventually through the Bahamas as a Category 2 hurricane. So still going to be a hurricane as it moves through the Bahamas. You can see we do have those alerts this morning. Hurricane warning, obviously, for Jamaica, Cuba, and then that watch for a little bit later down the line, but that is expected to become a warning as well as we head into the next 48 hours. So sea-tone rain forecast for us. We have those cold fronts that's going to be blocking any effects from Melissa. So 2 feet for the Gulf for us. Winds out of the west-southwest at about 5 to 10 knots. And we do have your double red flags flying with a good chance we could see single red flags flying later on today. Let's look at that week ahead. We do have some nicer weather moving in as we head into tomorrow with less rain. Wednesday we'll have another rain chance for the early morning hours. It clears out and temperatures cool off. 60s for highs Thursday, and your Halloween forecast 66 degrees. Temperatures in the nighttime 50s and 40s.
The morning current will continue momentarily. Nick Mangold, NFL star, has passed away. We'll take a look at the complications that led to his death. Football fans across the world mourning the death of former Jet Nick Mangold.
Yeah, he passed away Saturday night at age 41. Kidney disease complications, and his death comes about 2 weeks after he talked about his condition on social media. He was appealing for a kidney donation.
Yeah, you know, Jets chairman Woody Johnson said Mangold's leadership and toughness defined an era of Jets football, and he said Mangold's wit, warmth, and unwavering loyalty made him a cherished member of the extended Jets family.
Oh, rest in peace, sad.
How about this? 100 years old.
I know, wow.
How do you make it to 100? But June Lockhart did, and she just passed away. I remember her as Ruth Martin in Lassie, and Timmy was fell in the well every week, it seems.
See, and I remember, a little bit of the generations that Lost in Space. Oh my gosh, Danger Will Robinson, there's the robot. Brooke, do you remember? You probably don't remember either one of those shows.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I know NATO is a Lassie dog. That's the only thing I know from Lassie.
June Lockhart passed away Thursday at her home in California, natural causes, and a family spokesperson says she was very happy up until the end. Her acting career really did span decades, not only the shows we mentioned, but how about Petticoat Junction, General Hospital, all the things that she was on, even Knots Landing. You just don't know about all that.
And by all reports, a wonderful person.
Yeah, 100 great years. News from the music world as well.
She's like a bird, I guess, and flying away from the music industry best I could do.
Yeah, Nelly Furtado and fans are a bit shocked by the announcement. She shared on social media she's taking a break from performing.
Yeah, it's unclear if she will ever perform again. She says that she plans to pursue other creative outlets, and she did not reveal her plans.
Wow.
Well, she just released Seven, her latest studio album last year. First in 7 years, and she went on tour this summertime, but I guess it's come to an end. Yeah, do a change. Why not?
Midlife, she's 46, just midlife shift, maybe. We shall see. Oh, from Deb Watts, it says, I love wildlife and kitties, and I think that is probably a very wild kitty.
Oh, so cute. And this is from Janice Scriver. Socks. It looks like we have lots of kitties. Oh, it does look like he's wearing socks.
Oh, well, Terry messages it's actually Black Cat Day. Not all cats. It's Black Cat Day, which, of course, spooky season. But I think Socks is really thinking hard when he tips his head over that far.
In a moment, we'll continue with the hard news. The government shutdown entering yet another week. Where things stand on Capitol Hill, I think, as they stand still. Take a look at the impact being felt by thousands on the way. Still, no money. Government shutdown continues into what, week 5?
We are entering week 5 and just a dead stalemate in Washington, D.C. As ever, the main sticking point is extending tax credits for the Affordable Care Act. Food banks across the nation struggling to keep up with demand, and experts warning more than 40 million Americans could be affected by the food assistance programs that are set to run out by the end of the week.
The Agricultural Department, they administer SNAP food assistance, announcing, quote, the well is run dry, unquote. Agency memo says the administration is rejecting the idea of using about $5 billion in contingency money to keep food aid flowing into November amid the shutdown.
They said it wasn't somehow legal to do that. At this point, another 700,000 federal workers are set to miss their first full paychecks this week. Air traffic controllers are calling out sick and taking second jobs, we are told.
This has led to the staffing shortages at your big airports.
The issue is quite polarizing across our social platforms. We want to get to some of your thoughts, hundreds of comments, and we appreciate all of them. As we mentioned, it is very polarizing.
Philip says, quote, stop this nonsense.
Melody says President Trump needs to demand Congress get back to work and negotiate day and night until they get it done.
She went on to say he needs to lead the country through this, not the entire country, not just the people who voted for him.
Meanwhile, Paula writes, shut it all down. No Social Security checks, no VA services, no planes flying. No employee should be having to work without a paycheck. If you can't pay them, shut down all the services. Let America feel how important federal employees really are.
Homeland Security defending the actions taken by some officers in Chicago over the weekend. Here we go.
We do have some video. It started at a Halloween parade for kids that was canceled after agents used what appeared to be tear gas. DHS says the agents were acting in self-defense.
It all happened after the crowd started gathering during the arrest of a construction worker who was in the country illegally. In another neighborhood, a confrontation with ICE agents turned violent, angry residents shouting at the agents making an arrest.
The agents did deploy a gas canister, and moments later, a woman was pushed to the ground. Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino says nearly 3,000 people have been arrested in Chicago since immigration crackdown began last month.
Let's talk about trade. Following a signing ceremony Sunday, the president announced a number of trade deals with Cambodia, Thailand, and Malaysia.
With those deals, the U.S. will leave in place the 19% tariffs on imports. In exchange, Cambodia says they will drop tariffs on U.S. goods. Thailand agreeing to eliminate tariff barriers on 99% of American products.
The president also reached a deal with the three countries regarding the exports of critical minerals to the U.S. Also yesterday, the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent outlined the framework for a U.S.-China trade deal to avoid imposing additional 100% tariff on Chinese imports.
Not so much progress when it comes to Canada. In fact, the president intends to raise tariffs on our neighbor to the north
by an extra 10%. This is all over that TV ad. It's a commercial featuring a speech, or at least parts of it, by President Ronald Reagan talking about tariffs. The president says, well, Canada officials need to pull that ad, and he'll talk about pulling the tariffs.
More to come there. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is signaling she may run again for the White House in 2028.
In an interview, she said, quote, I am not done, and also went on to say possibly still could be president one day.
The comment's her strongest hint yet at a comeback after losing to President Trump last year. Harris says she has not made a final decision. She says her focus right now is on helping Democrats in the midterms.
Then there's this. A bipartisan group of lawmakers would like to hear from the NBA about that gambling scandal.
The FBI is looking into allegations right now about insider information that was used in this alleged mafia-related betting scheme on NBA games and those rigged underground poker games.
Well, they wrote the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver, Friday, asked him to provide a briefing by the 31st of this month. 34 people indicted last week in connection with those two separate federal gambling investigations.
So many TV movies coming out of the news this week.
No kidding.
7:31, a rainy night overnight, and we're seeing our traffic cameras showing us still some pretty damp roads. Brooke, what can we expect?
Yeah, we still have the rain this morning. It is going to be, depending on where you are, but we're going to be looking at those showers at least for the next few hours before they completely move out. So we will be looking at some nicer weather for the end of the day today. Currently, Okaloosa Island, you can see it's rough on the Gulf as well. We have the clouds around. Let's take a look at where those showers are. It's going to be that heavier rain that is just now moving through Navarre, going to be moving going into Fort Walton Beach, Destin. We do have some heavier showers south of I-10 as well as some light showers along I-10 in Okaloosa County. We're still looking at that rain continuing to push out, and that's where the lightning is for Walton County. Now, as we go into the rest of your day, those showers will be moving out. Temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler today. We're going to stay in the upper 70s for your highs. We're seeing the 60s right now, and we are going to be seeing temperatures just below average. But this is not the end of a rain chance for us this week. We have one more chance of rain going into Wednesday. That's going to be another cold front that's really going to settle in some cooler temperatures. But for now, we do have that northerly flow building in 5 miles an hour. That's going to make it feel a touch drier. As you head out the door today, it is going to be looking a bit better for your afternoon. We'll see the rain chances coming to an end. 77 for your high, possibly getting up to the upper 70s.
Let's get a look outside, shall we? It's 7:33, driving around town and noting no problems anywhere this morning. If you're headed on the road, you're good to go.
We want to update a story for you now. We started talking about on Friday about how the Pensacola City Council is trying to deal with the issue of street parking in neighborhoods.
It's one of their favorite topics, of course. Councilwoman Allison Patton introduced a proposal. This after a number of complaints from people getting tickets for parking right in front of their own home for too long, considering changes to city street parking limit from 24 to 72 hours.
There will be public hearings at some point once they get a few more details finalized, but you've got your thoughts. We asked you to weigh in on the conversation, specifically whether resident parking passes should be available in Pensacola neighborhoods. A whopping 82% said yes, they should.
We'll talk about this in a second. A new study revealing the fears of Americans. What's on top of that list?
And in a related subject, dating in 2025. What prompts some singles to say yes to a date?
We'll get all that straightened out in just a second. But first, we're just going to take a moment and have a coffee break.
Well, what do Americans fear the most? Well, the answer might surprise you. For me, it's stingrays, but that is not on the list.
Okay, actually, I think they dug into my brain for this list. It seems vaguely familiar. Chapman University asked about 1,000 people what they fear the most. Now, they did say that many of us are affected by a, quote, scare-mongering internet.
Oh.
With that said, no surprise, the first place spot was nabbed by corrupt
politicians. 69% of folks said they were afraid or very afraid of this. Second place would be people I love becoming seriously ill, certainly.
Yeah. Well, third place was economic or financial collapse. And then fourth place, cyber terrorism.
And they also included, things that we all think about: people I love dying, the U.S. becoming involved in another world war. Those two things tied for a fifth. Yikes.
All right, we'd love to know what you think about this. Scan the QR on your screen. Let us know what really scares you. Are you in line with the survey? Is it corruption? Is it illness, financial ruin, cyber terrorism, or maybe something else?
Mine's a little more frivolous.
Stingrays?
Well, okay, I grew up in the generation that loved Steve Irwin, and ever since then, stingrays, my heart rate goes up when I see one.
And for someone that swims in the Gulf, that's a very interesting.
And I see them a lot.
All right, I want to talk about something a lot more frivolous because this Monday has felt rather heavy.
What?
Let's talk about what makes you say yes to a date.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yeah, actually, for the three of us, nothing, right? We're happily married, but nearly 1 in 3 singles says a free meal. A free meal is
it's a sign of the times, I guess.
Right?
Just get free lunch or dinner. Although traditionally, in the olden days, and I was dating, about 4 decades ago, the gentleman would generally buy dinner.
Yeah, now I think there are a lot of discussions about who's going to pay, right? Like that's much more common. Singles born between 1997 and 2012 say, I forget the percentage, about a third of them say they've gone just for the free meal.
Oh,
and
wow.
that, date night budgets, deciding who pays the bill, those are all part of the conversation.
Really, I'd had such a good time. I really did. But maybe don't call me.
For
After
real.
the good meal, right?
51% of Americans say they are dating less because of economic concerns, and hardest hit is Gen Z. Like they say 58% just aren't messing with it. It's too expensive.
Yeah, it's due to inflation, cost of living, pressures having made creative, budget-friendly dates more common, from home-cooked dinners to shared side hustles. I think the small dates are really fun. Like a little picnic in the park.
A walk by a beautiful coastline. We've got all that for free.
A romantic walk on the beach.
Yeah,
I mean, a beach day, you can't beat that.
And so where are we having lunch?
At the beach.
At the beach.
We'll just be hungry.
Let's talk about this. Now, I enjoy a good Coca-Cola once in a while.
Do you?
Yes, I do. A little fizz, can be fun.
Fan favorite coming back, yeah. Diet Cherry Coke?
Yeah, Diet Cherry Coke. It's expected to return permanently. I didn't know it went away. Early 2026. I don't really like diet soda, though. But the drink is expected to hit the shelves in new, modern-looking 20-ounce bottles and 12-ounce cans.
Getting mixed reactions, of course. Many people excited. Others say, well, it's not as sweet as it used to be.
I think our taste buds are wired for things to be so sweet now. I'm not saying there's a problem with that. I actually like it.
I know.
Yeah, but anyway, we shall see. We've got these stories and more on WEAR's YouTube channel. Check out the top local and national stories, YouTube Shorts, and the Morning Minute. Search WEAR News on YouTube.
Another week of college football officially in the books. We'll have an extensive, detailed review momentarily. Week 9 of college football in the books. Here's your weekend recap with Laura Hussey.
As if I was good at this. The Auburn Tigers beat Arkansas 33-24 the final. The game led by Auburn's defense, forcing 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery in the second half. Auburn
Projecting a win over the South Carolina.
Miami defeating Stanford 42-7, and you guys called that one with a whopping 87%. It was a slow start for the Canes, but they came out from the locker room at the second half just ready to get it. And an even stronger showing for you fans.
UWF Argos remain, undefeated after a 55-6 win over West Virginia State. That was UWF's largest margin of the season.
Looking ahead to Week 10, Miami will take on SMU. Florida facing number 5 Georgia. Auburn at home versus Kentucky, and FSU will take on Wake Forest.
Alabama has a bye week. UWF on the road to take on number 17 Delta State.
A Gulf Breeze teenager is now set to represent the U.S. in the Trampoline Gymnastics World Championships. Who knew?
Yeah, he's 17 years old. His name is West Fowler. He's one of 23 chosen to represent the U.S. of A. Got quite the big send-off party on Saturday at the studio where he practices. Highest possible event Fowler can get to, the Trampoline Gymnastics World Championship in Pamplona, Spain, November.
Triggering my fear of heights there. Nice work. We're rolling live down Mobile Highway. Beautiful blue sky starting to peek through, a good sign for our Monday. No traffic problems to report.
All right, it was sporty yesterday and through the night, but now?
Yeah, we're still seeing a few of those showers around, but they are going to be coming to an end as we go into the next hour or so. So not going to be lasting for too much longer. We are seeing those clouds currently over our Hardee's camera. You can see they are starting to push out. Very rough on the Gulf as we do still have those winds a bit high as those storms are moving on. Let's take a look right now about what we're looking at currently in terms of those temperatures. We have started to look at a little bit of a brief cool down. You're not going to be feeling the full effects of this cold front until tomorrow. That's where you'll feel it settling in. But right now we do have a few more 60s and a few more 70s out ahead of those showers. So let's take a look at where that rain is. We do have it moving into our Okaloosa counties. That's where we're seeing those rain showers now. It has now cleared out of Pensacola, Santa Rosa County. This is where all of the rain is going to be falling now. You can see that heavy rain moving into right, looking like it's picking up a bit. So that's going to be what you're dealing with as you are getting out and about this morning, moving into Fort Walton Beach, going into Destin as well. So that's where it will be clearing out. You can see some of those light showers to the north, but that is going to be very, very light. So not going to be lasting too long with that. As you get closer to about 10 a.m., you can see things looking much nicer. We will be looking at a few more clouds still on that Tuesday, so not completely clearing out with those clouds, but that's because we have another system that's going to move through. So that's going to be another cold front for us. It does bring in some more showers Wednesday morning. We'll have your rain chance early in the morning from 3 a.m., 4 a.m., all the way till about 7 a.m. with that rain chance on Wednesday. It moves out, and then you can see we do have drier and cooler conditions. That's going to be moving in behind this. So you're going to be feeling a temperature drop heading into the end of the week and into your weekend. So get prepared for that. Cooler than average temperatures is what we are forecasting 6 to 10 days from now. Still looking below average. Even today, looking like we could fall just below average. Typically this time of year, we're seeing our highs around 78 degrees. We're going to be right about a degree below that, 77, 73 going into Tuesday. Look at your Wednesday, 71. That's where that cold front moves through, and then we'll have the mid 60s heading into Halloween. So your Halloween forecast looking like it could be a chilly one. Let's take a look at the tropics now. We are watching Hurricane Melissa, major Category 5 hurricane this morning with winds at 160 miles an hour. It is going to continue to move, eventually making landfall as a Category 5 hurricane in Jamaica, making landfall in Cuba as a Category 3 hurricane, the Bahamas Category 2 hurricane. So this is going to be a very impactful storm. Not only has it been bringing just that heavy rainfall leading to flash flooding, landslides, it's still going to be making landfall as that major hurricane. So warnings in effect for Jamaica, Cuba, watches for the Bahamas. It will eventually move into the Atlantic, but not until the end of this week. Sea-tone rain forecast, 2 feet for the Gulf for us. Winds out of the west-southwest at about 5 to 10 knots for today. Light chop. Winds will slowly calm down through the end of the week. We do have our double red flags right now with a 40% chance of those single red flags flying later on today. Let's look at your week ahead. We do have cooler weather moving in for Halloween. 20% chance of that rain still this morning. It's moving out though. We'll have clouds around Tuesday, rain chance early Wednesday, and then by Thursday, temperatures fall mid-60s. Look at that Halloween forecast, 66 degrees for your high. Temperatures in the evening dropping into the 50s and 40s.
That was a bunch of scary bats, Brooke. And we still have time to check out the spookiest cities in the U.S. before Halloween. We'll tell you why they're making the list.
Well, it is the week of Halloween, and perhaps you'd like to spend some time checking out the spookiest cities in the U.S.
Ooh, CNN says #1 on the list is Brooke's hometown, Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, Savannah, Georgia. It's known for its haunted hotels scattered through the downtown areas. Locals have long spotted ghosts and encountered paranormal entities.
Have they really?
There's lots of bars down there, too, and I have a question for you guys.
What?
Why did the ghost go to the bar?
I don't know. Why did the ghost go to the bar?
For the booze.
Ah!
So that's probably why there's lots of ghosts in Savannah. There's lots of bars.
Well, speaking of ghosts and booze, my personal favorite scary city is New Orleans, a city with its own brand of voodoo.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, aside from the cool voodoo dolls that you can buy in the market, they say that voodoo, the religion, if you will, is an attempt to connect believers with the spiritual plane. I stayed in a hotel upstairs of the Royal Cafe one time.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be haunted. Sadly, maybe I had too many hurricanes and I slept through all the excitement. So there you go.
And lastly, a little bit of a travel, of course, to Salem, Massachusetts, my home state. Of course, they did a lot of witch burning in Salem years ago, and they still kind of they embrace the history and showcase some trials, the way it really went down before they figured out, well, you know, there really aren't any witches. Maybe we shouldn't burn these ladies.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. But an interesting bit of history here in Pensacola, a couple of spooky spots. Got the Pensacola Lighthouse and Fort Barrancas reported to have some.
And we have spooky tours in downtown.
Yeah, that's right. The downtown haunted tours, and they have also the downtown paranormal tours. So check it all out.
Okay, let's talk about the fun part of the scary season, costumes. You can buy them at the store, right? You know, or you can make them yourself.
Well, the real deal is, I thought it would be cool if you guys, especially if you handcrafted a Halloween costume. Money is tight this year. If you have a great costume that you maybe thrifted or put together at the house, we would love to see it, or really any costume, we would love to see it. So use the QR code right there, and you can send us your spooky Halloween costume photos.
All right, speaking of Halloween still, We did this all last week. The candy corn thing. We had a poll out. Is candy corn delicious or disgusting?
75. I was shocked. I'm sorry. 75% of you guys think it's delicious, and 25% are correct. And it's, no, I'm just kidding. It's disgusting, is what 25% of you guys
These
say.
results are absolutely shocking, except there is some evidence in our break room. You know, we had that little bowl of the mixed up candy corn and peanuts that we made last week. Somebody has eaten all the candy corn. The only thing left is peanuts.
I think that says it all, right?
That says something.
All right.
All right.
Somebody's eating it.
In secret, because they're too
They're
embarrassed.
afraid to admit it.
Yeah.
Only on an anonymous poll.
All right, I'll admit it. I love it. No,
Okay.
we'll be right back.
We are looking at some lovely weather going into the rest of your day. Those showers coming to an end shortly, and then we're going to be looking at temperatures in the upper 70s for your highs. Another cold front does move in Wednesday. This is really going to cool us off for Halloween. Temperatures mid-60s for highs Thursday, 66 for your high on Halloween afternoon, and then by Halloween evening, temperatures will be falling into the 50s and 40s. So getting a bit cooler heading into those trick-or-treat hours. Going into the weekend, we should still be looking at some sunshine with temperatures cooler than average.
Well, thank you.
For all your comments and everything on social media as well. Thanks for stealing the candy corn, whoever you are.
Wherever you are. And we'll see you tomorrow right here at 7 o'clock.
Maybe they threw it away.
Maybe, just to prove a